What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be talking about this Bible passage concerning how many women were at the tomb of Jesus when he was resurrected, because some accounts say one, some accounts mention another amount, another account mentions another amount. So the question is how many really were there? Now, we're going to see that it's more than just one. John chapter 20 tells us, it mentions Mary specifically, but it mentions more than one with Mary, believe it or not. Now it says this: "Now on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came early to the tomb while it was still dark and saw the stone already removed from the tomb." So it only mentions Mary. Now get this. "So she ran and came to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved and said to them, 'They have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we do not know where they have put him.'" Who is this we? Who is the we that Mary is talking about? It's not just her. It includes her, but not just her. So that shows she's not the only one who went to the tomb, and she wasn't the only one trying to figure out where they have laid him. So Peter and the other disciple left, and they were going to the tomb, the two running together, and the other disciple ran ahead faster than Peter and came to the tomb first, and he stooped to look in and saw the linen wrappings lying there. However, he did not go in. So Simon Peter also came, following him, and he entered the tomb, and he looked at the linen wrappings lying there, and the face cloth which had been on his head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but folded up in a place by itself. So we're going to see here. So the other disciple who had first come to the tomb also entered in, and he saw and believed. For they did not yet understand the scripture that he must rise from the dead. So the disciples went away again to their own homes. So you have Mary going to the tomb, not by herself, because she said, "We don't know where they have laid him." She goes and gets the disciples, John and Peter. John and Peter leave. Mary stays. Mary was standing outside the tomb weeping. So as she wept, she stooped to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white sitting, one at the head and one at the feet where the body of Jesus had been lying. So you have this account. Okay, this supposes that only one woman was there, but we know it's not one woman only, because she says, "We do not know where they have put him." So the account is focusing specifically on Mary. But now let's look at some of the other accounts. Luke chapter 23 tells us, "It was a preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. Now the women who had come with him from Galilee followed, and they saw the tomb and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and perfumes. And on the Sabbath day they rested according to the commandment." So the "they" is a reference to the women. They returned. Who's the they? The women who had come with him from Galilee. Now we go to the next chapter. "But on the first day of the week at early dawn, they came to the tomb." Who's the they? It includes more than just one, and it's a reference to the women. "They found the stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered in, they did not find the body of Jesus. While they were perplexed about this, behold, two men suddenly stood near them in gleaming clothing, and the women, plural, were terrified." Okay, so we're going to go over in another video concerning, well, why does this say that the women saw a vision, and in the other account, it has them going to get the disciples first, and then they see the vision, which that's not a big discrepancy. It's not a discrepancy at all. So, but what we're going to focus on specifically is John mentioned that Mary was there, and then Mary said, "We do not know where they have laid him." So it's more than just one woman. Somebody looks at that and says, well, that's a discrepancy. Now we have here mentioned, it says, "Now these women were Mary Magdalene." That's what John said. Well, who's the we? We don't know where they have laid Jesus. Well, we have that information. Joanna, Mary the mother of James, also the other women with them. Okay. Guess what? The other women were with them. So now we go back. Now we have this account in Matthew chapter 28. So it's not just one woman, it's more than one woman. And it says, "Now after the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to look at the tomb." Okay, well, who's the other Mary? Let's go back to Luke chapter 24. Mary, the mother of James. Right? Could there have been other Marys there? Could have been, because it says here the other women. But under consideration specifically mentioned is Mary, the mother of James. And so then you have them seeing this vision. So how many women were there? More than just one. Now we have Mark chapter 16. And it tells us When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome bought spices so that they might come to anoint him. So how many were there? Mary, Mary, and Salome. Now when you go to Matthew's account, what did it say? Mary, Mary. When you go to Luke's account, what's it say? Mary, Mary, and Joanna. So is Joanna another name for Salome? Could be. Or is Salome included in this other woman? Could be. Right? So not a big deal. So you have these accounts. How many women were there? At least 5, right? Because this mentions Mary, Joanna, Mary, and the other women. That would be at least 2. So is that a discrepancy? The fact that John says it mentions just Mary? No, because it says we do not know where they have put him. That includes more than just one. It's not a discrepancy. John mentions one specifically and then mentions others vaguely. And then you look at the other accounts. What are the other reports being circulated in the first century? That it was women, right? But these words appear to them as nonsense, and they would not believe the women. The women. They would not believe the women. So, what do you have to say concerning that? I mean, it's not a discrepancy. Easily understood and easily explained. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. Don't let individuals try to convince you of discrepancies. And if there are any discrepancies, there has to be an explanation that's reasonable, that makes sense, and is logical. So thank you for your time, and until next time, we'll talk about some more stuff together. Have a nice day.